Dit wel dat vloed men ne ontvang.
Frasse, step up forward!
Valdis.
Will you not stay a moment longer, Eivor?
I should not linger. My Banner folk await my return.
I understand.
Take care, Valdis. You fought well, and won yourself a worthy king.
I did, didn't I? Take care, Eivor.
Ah, greetings, Eivor.
You're missing the festivities.
I've had my fill.
It's as much yours as it is Oswald's.
I was a crumbling man, Eivor. My heart burns bright with newfound fire.
Glory cares not for age, Finnir. Sail with me. My ship could always use a wise head and a strong axe. Now it seems the wind calls me back to Randi. Best tell her the good news.
That wretched hat of yours.
Rohan, Holger, why all this shouting? Eivor, thank Tyr. I heard shouting. Is something wrong?
Holger robbed me, and I demand he be punished.
Ha! Rot is a pointed word. Does the deer rub the stream when she takes a drink? Does a cow rub a field when he crops on sweet grass?
Eivor, this matter requires sensitive judgment. Will you? Of course. From the beginning, please.
Well now, there is no excuse too small, I see. Nothing to keep you from coveting that seat, is there?
In Sigurd's absence, who has better claim to oversee these disputes?
You might leave them to work it out for themselves, but that would mean letting go, would it not?
Please start again. Tell me all that has happened.
I will start. I have been falsely accused by this Saxon Philistine.
A filly what? Are you mocking me?
Silence, please. I'll hear both of your complaints and render a decision, awarding compensation if needed. Understood? Rowan, tell me your version of these events.
As you are aware, Holger and I are neighbors. Near enough that I often catch him at my stables, stealing my tools.
Borrowing.
Holger, let him speak.
Stealing, borrowing. My point being, I have always allowed him to use whatever he pleased. I greatly admire your Norse generosity and had hoped to match it. But this morning, Holger stretched the limits of my grace. Entering my stables for their feed, I found my most beautiful, gentle mare stripped of her tail. Bereft, not a strand in sight. I am ashamed to say my natural suspicion drew me to Holger, and how right I was. For when I peered across the lane, there he was, gripping a horsetail brush slathered with indigo, dragging it across a sheet of...
Painting, Rowan. I was painting. You make it sound so crude.
You see? Such willful arrogance. It will take ages for Ilgafur's tail to reach its former length. I demand compensation.
I understand. Thank you, Rowan. Holger, let me hear your side.
Eivor, you have known me as a skald for years. You have seen how my poems bring life and joy and wisdom to our people. And you know that my work requires a certain, let us say, freedom. To make use of rare resources to compose my verses. Often when lacking the proper tools, I have made use of novel items. Alvis's walking stick, Tovi's inks, all were given gladly.
You cut off my horse's tail to make a brush, you bleeding...
Rowan?
As I was saying, this morning in the throes of poetic reverie, I realized that my latest piece required delicate brushwork. I could have used a frayed stick, some cloth, my hands, but no. I needed something gentler, softer. To make a perfect brush, I needed the fine hairs of a well-raised horse. And so I availed myself of a local resource.
You clipped Alfgafur's tail to the rump without asking.
It was early. I did not wish to wake you.
Thank you, Holger. I believe I understand your position. I believe I have heard enough. If you will...
My horse looks like a fool, Eivor. No handsomer than a donkey now. You must do something.
Do not conflate hair with beauty, Rowan. She remains radiant. Elgifur's hair will grow back in no time.
Quiet, both of you. Now listen. Holger, Rowan is clearly in the right. You sheared the tail from his horse without gaining permission.
I borrowed the tail. Borrowed! Does the reality of regrowth not make this a victimless crime?
It is a two-victim crime, Holger. Though they are unharmed, you took without asking, and that will not do. As the horse's value has diminished significantly, you will pay Rowan its market price.
But the horse was not for sale. Rowan, admit it.
My decision is final, Holger. Pay what you owe and meet tomorrow as friends.
And if I do, may I keep the horse?
Pay the man and be done with it. Rowan, does this satisfy you?
It does. Thank you, Eivor.
Good. Then by Tyr's blessing, let this matter rest. We are done here. Return to your homes in peace.
Would you allow me to pay you with a vibrant painting? After all, in some ways, you are its creation.
Absolutely not. Silver is the only color I wish.
Oh, hello, Eivor. Good day. That Holger, he is quite a character.
I almost envy him. To see the world through such a muddy glass and live with such petty concerns. He hasn't a care in the world.
Let's not walk too far with that idea. I need you right where you are.
East Anglia is with us. Their King Oswald has pledged his loyalty to us.
Eivor Kingmaker, we shall call you soon. Some interesting news. King Ceolwulf has sent Ceolbert to Shropshire. He hopes to install him as Elderman there.
Good for Ceolbert. He should do well considering all he has learned from you.
I gave him only a taste of my knowledge. The rest he will need to figure for himself. One more thing. I do not know if you heard, but Svend passed away a short time ago. The poor man slipped away in his bed.
I had not heard, no. And how is Tovi? She must be gutted.
It has been rough on her. She spends quite a lot of time at his burial mound. Speak with her, if you have the time.
Randvi, are you well? You seem distant.
I'm fine. Only a little tired, but well enough. Shall we look at the map?
Not until you tell me what is wrong.
Oh, I think I have. I feel somewhat trapped. In this room, and this settlement, and this life.
I cannot help you with your life just now, but I can get you out of this room. What do you say?
I don't know. There is much work to be done.
Stop. Forget about alliances and responsibility for just a few hours. We could take a ride to Grandebridge or somewhere nearby for a change of pace.
That sounds lovely. And too far to consider just now. But thank you, Eivor. Maybe another time. Now, what was it you needed?
Randvi, take a break. Let's make for Grandebridgeshire and get you out of this musty room.
Do you mean now? Right now?
Of course. You said you were tired of all this, so why not? Stretch your legs and fill your lungs.
I did ask, didn't I? You're right. Lead the way, Eivor.
Follow me. We won't take the long ship today. This trip is for us. Just you and me. Is that a problem?
Not at all. So long as I get some air and sun, I will be fine. I spend too much of my day in the Longhouse.
We'll need to cross the river at some point if we want to enter Grandebridgeshire. If you know a better way, I would love to hear it.
Is swimming not an option?
Swimming? I don't know. Are you joking?
A boat or a horse would always do, but I'm not opposed to the more traditional methods.
See that one who came with the new arrivals? She looks young to be raiding. That is a good... Is that everything? This feast has to be great.
Yes, it is our last chance.
Wolf-kissed.
Welcome to Ravensthorpe. I am Eivor, though you seem to know me already.
You are well known to us. I am Toka Sinriksdottir, and the Frankish boar with me is my advisor, Pierre. We are here on behalf of Sigfred of Francia, renowned warrior and leader of the Northmen there.
You look to be at home here already.
How could we not be? What you have done in this place is amazing. The guest house is a fitting addition. We have also brought new tastes for your long table from Francia. If it is drink you prefer, we have mulled wine.
Very generous. Some might say overly generous.
Consider it a token of goodwill from the hand of my uncle Siegfried. You know, clan to clan.
There'll be blood if any here heard I refuse the feast. So, consider it accepted.
Yes, you honor us. Ravensthorpe reminds me of how Francia used to be. Given the chance, I would visit often.
You would be welcome. Yet you do not share your gifts for nothing. I await the boon you surely will ask of me.
Tales of your judgment prove true. You can teach me some of that wisdom over ale this day. Shall we begin?
Let us see if these Frankish treats hold up to scrutiny.
Let us eat!
How one can prefer ale to wine? Mon Dieu, it astounds me still. You Norse may have us Franks on the battlefield, but when it comes to drink, we stand unbeaten.
If it makes me drunk, I'm glad to drink it.
Are there no standards anymore?
I want to show you something. In our travels throughout England, I have taken swords in raids and battles. This I took in a holmgang against 2 oafish brothers in East Anglia. 'Tis but a worn twig, but is still my favorite.
So, you have traveled to all corners of this land before arriving at Ravensthorpe. To what end?
I mean to entice you and others like you to join in the glorious raids along the River Seine.
Who have you talked with thus far?
Many. Jarl Hemminger, Guthrum, even Halfdan. Paris itself is set to be besieged. And after that, we will have amassed more riches than anyone in England has dared imagine.
Let me guess how many Jarls will join you in your Frankish raids and sieges. None.
They just fail to see the scale of the bounty we stand to plunder.
What do you really want, Toka?
Every word I have said is true. But there is something else. A new power is rising in Francia.
What kind of power?
The Frankish kingdoms have been united under one king, Charles the Fat. And with this combined strength, Charles has begun a slow march against the Norse villages there. He killed my father and wiped out my village.
I am sorry for your father and your village. We have our own troubles here in this land.
With Charles the Fat in power, those troubles will worsen. After his campaign in Francia, he will come for England. Charles will come for you and your clan. His armies multiply by the day. Real soldiers and cavalry, not like the Saxon farmhands and gillers in these parts.
If the Raven clan were to help you, what is it you would ask of us?
Our chieftain, Siegfried, prepares to siege Paris and make the Franks rethink their actions against we Norse. And our longships will grow heavy with treasure in the doing.
My scouts attest to the claims of Toka and her people. But before now, I saw no reason to involve our clan.
Do you see reason now?
If the mad King Charles does have ambitions for England, we should act. The Siegfrieds you mentioned, he rallies the Norse there. Joining him could be our chance to push back against this new king.
Or I could meet this Charles myself. And if you will not deal with me, I kill him.
This problem is bigger than one king. If we kill one, another will rise. Were he murdered by a Norse from England, it could bring the Franks to our shores even sooner.
Then I'll be mindful of who I kill and who I ally with in Francia. Could be a stable king is the way to keep Ravensthorpe safe.
Let me see the sword. I wish to examine the ironwork.
No, I stole this, and it is mine.
Fine. If you will not show it to me, I will have to take it. Ready yourself, Pierre. I challenge you to a holmgang.
Enough. Toka, you came here looking for help with this new Frankish threat. The Raven clan will answer your call.
You will? You will! I promise you will not regret this. Find Pierre when you have prepared, and we will make for Francia at once.
Thank you.
Ugh, my head. I should have kept to ale. Toka said to find Pierre when I'm ready to...